It's no secret that Final Fantasy II has a bad reputation. But does it really deserve it? And is the game still worth playing today? The purpose of this video is to help you answer that question. Towards the end of the video, I'll also go over the best versions of the game, so you can decide which one you should play. Keep in mind that this video is about the game that was called Final Fantasy II in Japan. When some longtime fans of the series talk about Final Fantasy II, they're actually talking about Final Fantasy IV. Yeah, it's confusing, don't worry about it. Final Fantasy II is a classic JRPG with a familiar gameplay model. You control a party of 4 heroes on an epic quest that will take them across a large world spanning multiple islands and continents. The heroes travel on foot, by ship or canoe, and eventually by airship, fighting monsters in random encounters along the way. Towns and castles provide the heroes with a place to rest, gather information, and purchase equipment. Most of the game takes place inside dungeons, and some of them were pretty inventive for the time, such as a rescue mission on an airship and a battle at the Colosseum. Most of the time though, dungeons are really a test of endurance. Battles are turn-based, and you have the option of attacking, casting spells like Fire, Cure, and Protect, using restorative items, and defending. If the battle is too much to handle, you can also attempt to flee. Compared to the first game in the series, the story is much more ambitious this time around. The heroes are orphans who join the Wild Rose Rebellion to help defeat the Emperor of Palamecia before he can plunge the world into chaos. Aside from the 3 main heroes, the party is joined by a rotating cast of companions, each with their own story to tell, and these characters are really the highlight of the game. The game's story is full of twists and setbacks, but don't expect too much dialogue or elaborate cutscenes, and keep in mind that the story is more than 30 years old. It's an epic tale with some cool set pieces, but it's told in a straightforward way. Still, the game does a great job of showing the threat posed by the Empire, and the story can be pretty dark at times. Final Fantasy II is infamous for its leveling system. Basically, the more a character swings a sword or casts a certain spell, the better they get at it. Characters don't have levels, so even basic attributes like strength and hit points are increased this way. Any character can use any weapon or armor and learn any spell, giving you complete freedom in shaping your party to your liking. The leveling system can be janky and frustrating at times, but most of the criticisms leveled at the game apply mainly to the original version, as the later remakes fixed a lot of the system's glaring issues. That said, the in-game documentation is severely lacking, so you might want to look up a leveling guide before you start. Final Fantasy II is a bit less intuitive than most classic JRPGs, but if you enjoy customizing characters and power leveling, you'll probably enjoy this. Even if you don't, it's really not that big a deal. The game has its frustrating moments, but it's also a fun adventure with a grand story. You should play this game if you enjoy classic JRPGs, or if you want to see where many of Final Fantasy's iconic elements, such as Dark Knights, Dragoons, Chocobos, and Phoenix Down came from. Final Fantasy II has had several remakes over the years, and I highly recommend that you play one of these instead of the original, since they made some much needed improvements to the gameplay. The best versions of the game are Dawn of Souls for the Game Boy Advance, and Anniversary Edition for the PlayStation Portable. A more accessible option is the version for iOS and Android, which is based on the Anniversary Edition. There is also an upcoming version called the Pixel Remaster for Steam and mobile. This version looks really promising. We don't know much about the game yet, not even a release date, but keep your eyes open for this one. If you're interested in learning more about what the original version of Final Fantasy II was like, check out my retrospective video essay. Fair warning, that video is 45 minutes long and contains a lot of spoilers. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and if you want to help a tiny channel grow, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.